Now on 767 News, Independence Day draws nearer as National Youth Rally concludes. Dominica hosts two-day workshop to focus on HIV transmission in the Caribbean. Justice Dr. Irving Andre launches new book. And in sports, St. Vincent PM advocates for urgent resolution in Windies players' payment dispute. I'm Alicia George and you're watching 767 News. When we return, we will bring you the latest developments. Stay tuned.
Fiesta sausages are about to rock your breakfast world. Stock up with plenty of Fiesta sausages because as soon as you serve your family a breakfast with Fiesta sausages, they disappear. And you have to keep adding more and more Fiesta sausages. So you better have lots of Fiesta sausages in your kitchen cupboard. Buy them by the dozen and they come in regular and hot and spicy. The whole family can enjoy Fiesta sausages. Ask the boss. Right place, right price.
Introducing the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz has joined with Ashley Furniture, the #1 selling home furnishings brand in America, to bring you the most extraordinary furniture selection at unbeatable prices. It's now easier than ever before to find that perfect furniture piece for your home. And what's more, you can add that special touch with the right accent piece from our range of designer accessories from Ashley. Create the perfect look for your home with the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. Visit the new Ashley Gallery at our Roseau store.
Ladies, men, and children, are you looking for that unique Creole fashion for this independent season? King's Garments, located on 34 Steber Street in Portersville, and its new location on Independence Street, is the place to shop, specially providing you with all your independence outfits. Your Creole Garments exclusive shop.
Vous soumez sur pantalon, chemise, waistcoat, petticoat, et bien jupe, radouillette, venez dans King's Garments pour capable de tout ça besoin.
Go to King's Garments today.
The weather was fit as the stadium filled up with people on Thursday morning for the 2014 National Youth Rally. Each year, schools and other related institutions from across the island participate in what is called a youth rally here in Dominica. The participants perform rehearsed drills, put on spectacular displays, and salute the Prime Minister in attendance. This year was equally pleasing when compared to other years, with the Dominica Grammar School dominating the performances with a remarkable drilling presentation. Of course, the Goodwill Secondary School always has something good up their sleeves, but this time around it didn't seem to match up with the presentation of the Dominica Grammar School. Nevertheless, the audience enjoyed all the performances and stayed up till the very end. During this year's event, several students outstanding in academics and sports were also presented with Independence Awards. The National Youth Rally is a staple activity on the Independence calendar of activities in Dominica. And Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has expressed gratitude to members of the diaspora who continue to make valuable contributions towards Dominica's continued development. The country's leader expressed his gratitude when he addressed returning nationals at a diaspora forum on Wednesday at the State House.
There are many of you, or most of you, who have greater investments in Dominica than those of us who have been residing in the country. That's right. You have bank accounts. You have built huge homes in this country with no loans from the bank. You brought in money into this country to build your beautiful homes, and you have uplifted many communities in this country. When you look at Grand Savan in Salisbury, that's where you can see the transformation. You go to Point Michel, you go to Soufriere, you go to Scottsett, you go to Mona Louis in Cortes area. You go to many parts of the country, in Castle Comfort and Wallhouse and Grand Bay, La Plaine, all of these communities, we have returned Dominicans who have come back home to build their home and to lay the stake on our country and our country's future.
The Prime Minister said that most Dominicans who have gone abroad have done so in an effort to make a better life for themselves and their families. He said these people should not be made to feel unpatriotic.
We want to say to you, as we've said to you consistently, that you should let nobody let you believe that you are less of a Dominican because you'll be living out of Dominica. All of us who have gone out to Dominica, we have gone out there to make a better way for ourselves, to help improve ourselves, whether it is for economic reasons, whether it is for social reasons, or whether it's for educational opportunities. That's why we left Dominica. We did not leave Dominica because we did not love our country. We left to go make a better way for ourselves in an effort to help Dominica move forward. And Dominica is forever grateful.
The Prime Minister said he takes strong offense and objection to anyone who thinks that Dominicans residing overseas does not have a part to play in Dominica's development. The Prime Minister encouraged members of the diaspora to encourage their family members to open bank accounts in Dominica, purchase land in Dominica, and continue to invest in the country. Meanwhile, economist and United Workers' Party (UWP) candidate in the upcoming general elections, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, is not convinced that the Dominica Labour Party has been successful in creating an investment climate in Dominica which is conducive for doing business. Fontaine's comments come amidst continued dialogue by the ruling Dominica Labour Party with returning Dominicans about investing in Dominica. On Wednesday, the cabinet of Dominica, led by the Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, held a special diaspora forum at the State House with a focus of investment opportunities in Dominica.
The theme keeps coming up, investment, but there seems to be a lack of clarity as to how this can be done, how this should be, actually be effected. What is worse to me is, or what is more important to me, is that they've not made the investment climate conducive to people investing in the country.
Fontaine told 767 News that the United Workers' Party, Team Dominica, if voted into office, will improve the investment climate in Dominica.
So one of the things that Team Dominica is very keen on is to improve the investment climate. We are going to be doing that by removing a lot of the different the red tape that one has to go through. We'll be putting together the merging of some key institutions like Dexia and the Invest Dominica Authority to make it easier for people to know what is required if they're going to invest in Dominica, what they need to do and so on. We think that it is very murky right now and individuals don't know. And if you look at, for example, the World Bank cost of doing business, Dominica ranks very poorly on that statistic. We want to improve that. We want to make it easier for an investor, whether it's a Dominican coming back or any other investor, to invest in this country. So before we talk about investments, investment climate has to be looked at and has to be cleared up in a way that will make it easy and conducive for doing business.
The United Workers' Party Team Dominica's strategy for immediately rekindling growth in Dominica's economy would be to remove the most binding constraints on the country's important growth sectors, including tourism, agriculture, construction, the diaspora, and foreign direct investment. 23 individuals on Wednesday completed a 2-week boat captains and seafarer course, which was coordinated jointly by the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, DHTA, the Dominica Water Sports Association, DWA, and Maritime. The course, which was facilitated by Logan Knight of On Deck, based in Antigua, was hosted by the Anchorage Hotel Whale Watch and Dive Center. President of Dominica Water Sports Association, Simon Walsh, said although the DWA has been setting the standards in the dive sector for numerous years, the boat captains and seafarers course was very important.
We now have a future where this training that has been done in 5 years from now, you're not going to have to do this entire training again. Maritime, as long as you've been meeting certain requirements and you've been operating a boat for the last 5 years, Maritime will simply have a recertification program so that all of you as boat captains will be able to stay current and internationally trained to the highest standards. So this ceremony here today is a culmination of many people's efforts, and I have to thank in particular Mr. Gregor Nassif, who rarely came out as president of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association and restarted the dialogue that we had been trying to have for many years and got us to the place where we are here today.
He added when the private sector dialogue on building the dive industry, they can arrive at good results, which was manifested in this course. Both captain and seafarer course facilitator Logan Knight thanked the private entities for inviting him to host the course, which according to him was executed properly.
It is my hope that this is the beginning of a productive business relationship between OnDeck and these establishments. I would like to also express my appreciation to Mr. Albert Peter of the Maritime Department for his involvement in the development of this program, along with Simon Walsh and Mr. Gregor Nassif. Also, let me say thank you to the members of the Fire Department who assisted me in conducting the fire training and safety course. Congratulations are to be extended to all the candidates who participated. I will admit that it was a lot of intense work that brought us here today.
One of the participants, the managing director of Isle Dive Water Sports, Billy Lawrence, described the course as resourceful.
What I especially liked was interaction with the instructor, who is in fact a Caribbean national. So there was quite a bit of back and forth going. Input from local maritime was also very good. We also got a lot of information and training from the local fire service. So all of this not only was informative for the new Dominican captains individually, but what has happened is that we have formed sort of an alliance in that there was a level of camaraderie between the candidates, and that speaks to develop a much better system of safety for Dominican mariners.
The participants were presented with certificates of completion. Some are employed by Dive Dominica, Isle Dive Water Sports, and Anchorage Hotel, Whale Watch, and Dive Center. When we return, we will bring you the latest on a 2-day workshop to focus on HIV transmission in the Caribbean.
I know it is confusing out there with so many prices and so many stores, and you are trying to figure out how to do the maths on savings. Well, don't worry, we will do the maths for you. It is our business to deliver the best product at the best prices. So when you shop at Astafans, you don't need to do the maths. We have done it for you. And best of all, take the savings and use it to pay for something else, helping you save money. That's our business.
You have a sense of style. It's elegant. It's chic. It's modern. It's timeless. At Quartz, we have the widest range of furniture to suit any style, so you're sure to find something that's you. Furniture is fashionable, only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Say hello to the Digicel DL700, our newest best value Android smartphone with a 4-inch display, front-facing camera, and a 5-megapixel rear camera. It's perfect for snapping and sharing. Plus, it's super fast, so you can play more, do more, and listen more. And choose to download from over 1 million apps in the Google Play Store. The Digicel DL700, the latest addition in the Digicel Android smartphone range. Make the smart choice. Digicel.
Welcome back. A 2-day meeting which got underway at the Garway Hotel on Thursday will focus on the elimination of vertical transmission of HIV in the Caribbean. Representative of the Pan American Health Organization HIV Caribbean Office, Sandra Jones, said this meeting is very important as the health ministers of the Caribbean met in 2010 and signed on the elimination of vertical transmission of HIV initiative.
And today we are very proud to say that this region is one of the region that is positioned to be the first region to actually achieve the elimination initiative of both vertical transmission and HIV. And we know that comes with commitment not only at the, from the governments, but also the dedication of the National AIDS Program coordinators and the nurses, maternal and child health, and also in making this a reality.
She added the health professionals from across the Caribbean who are participating in the meeting will dialogue and work with each other for ways in which this process can be advanced. Representative of UNICEF's regional office in the Dominican Republic, Dr. Ralph Middy, commended the participants, adding it is proof of their commitment in working towards the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV.
This region, just like Sandra just said, is the most advanced region in the entire world. So with you already have achieved a lot. Many of those countries have no case or 1 or 2 cases. So we are convinced that, with the last effort that we will be doing, we will certainly, with a lot of pride, be the first region in the world that will eliminate vertical transmission of HIV.
Dr. Middy said UNICEF fully supports the elimination of vertical transmission of HIV, which is considered a very ambitious but attainable goal. Meanwhile, Strategic Intervention Advisor of the UNAIDS Caribbean Office, Dr. Miriam Chipimo, said UNAID will focus on documentation of progress against the global plan to the elimination of vertical transmission of HIV, which was launched a few years ago.
A target was set in that global plan that by 2015, countries should have, with all the scientific evidence and the ARVs available, should have eliminated transmission of mother to child, which is called vertical transmission. And actually the Caribbean has been way ahead of all the other countries, all the other regions globally. And we're just so pleased to see the progress that has been made in the region. And for us, it's really a very low-hanging fruit for the Caribbean to document that progress.
Dr. Chipimo added, to date, no Caribbean country has documented their progress, so this must be done as soon as possible, seeing that 2015 is near. Dominica's Kings of Cadas, the Midnight Groovers, is urging local bands to work on improving the quality of their musical lyrics. Lead vocalist and founding member of the Midnight Groovers band, Paul Chubby Mark, made the appeal during an interview at the World Creole Music Festival on Saturday.
You're not hearing good words on music no more. You will always hear slackness, my dear, just to lead the youth astray. But it's my duty to be here still and to educate the youth in the music with good words. Other than that, I wouldn't be there at all.
Mark said the Midnight Groovers would have not been active in the music business for 46 years to date had they been making songs with poor lyrics.
The only thing I can tell them, focus on God. God comes first in everything. Do not make your song with slackness lyrics. Make sure you use good words, because if I don't say good words, there will be a famine for it. So in these times, if the youth involved in music and doing slackness music, they'll never reach nowhere. Because just like Bob Marley, just like me, if I was singing slackness, my music would never be there still. So I'm encouraging the youth in these times, put God first, use good words in the music, and keep playing the music to push Dominica forward. I talk about slackness. I'm talking about words that don't make no sense. I mean, man making song about bend down low, man making song about wine. What I'm saying is, what is this all about? You know what I mean? So, if you make a song about do not hit your father, because if you hit your father, you might kill him, that's better than you make a song bend down and whine your waist. You understand what I mean? So majority artists in this year time, that is what they're doing, using slack. I already hear man cursed on CD, and that's a shame in front of the Most High. So in this year time, it's my duty to be here still, once God permit me life, to do that, to use good words in my music and to teach the youth.
The Midnight Groovers has been a dominant fixture on the Dominican and Creole music landscape, churning hit after hit such as Coco Sec, Milk and Honey, among a repertoire consisting of a total of 35 albums over the past 46 years. Justice Dr. Irving Andre's Superior Court of Justice seems to be hot on the books this week. Literally. Just Thursday, Dr. Andre launched a new book entitled The Extraordinary World of Albert Cavendish Shillingford, a Dominican entrepreneur who built a vast business empire in the early decades of the 20th century. Dr. Andre said he wrote the book because he believes that we as a people have an obligation to tell the stories of those before us, those who impacted and affected change in Dominica.
Because these days, probably more in the 70s than today, we are quick to dismiss persons as bourgeois or as reactionary. Persons who were born with a silver spoon in their mouths, but suffice it to say that the hostility and discrimination they experienced then, quite frankly, what we have to deal with now pale in comparison to that period. That he started Bay Oil, bottling it, the fact that he produced rum, the fact that he dabbled in soap production, in a little back room at his home, but the fact that he initiated that process. Here is a man doing these things in the 1920s and 1930s. What are we doing today?
Dr. Andre has written biographies on some of Dominica's most distinguished citizens, including Honorable Franklin Barron, Premier Edward Leblanc, Dr. Desmond McIntyre, Elias Nassif, and former Ambassador Charles Maynard. Family member of the book honoree, Dr. Clayton Shillingford, recommends that the book be placed in the main library and State College as it is important for nation building.
Somewhere along the line, the work that Irving Andre and Gabriel Christian have done over a period of time is to write these biographies about our people who have achieved. Why is that important? It's important because in nation building, it is essential that you elevate to a level the persons who have brought some significance to the country.
Albert Cavendish Shillingford died in March of 1938. Evidence suggested that Shillingford drowned at Hatton Garden in Pegua. Also on Tuesday evening at the Fortune Hotel, Dr. Irving was the featured speaker at the 3rd annual Eo Leblanc Memorial Lecture, presenting on the topic Eo Leblanc, a rendezvous with history. Dr. Irving spoke highly of Dominica's first premier, Edward Oliver Leblanc.
Leblanc believed that he should serve as the leader of his island for 2 consecutive terms. He did not believe that he should rule Dominica by proxy or decrees, and hence he scrupulously refused to groom any of his sons to continue his legacy. He did not believe in the oxymoron called a dynastic democracy. He walked away from power and turned down the offer of the island's presidency when Dominica became an independent state in 1978. Which political leader can you name who literally strolled away from the portals of office?
Leblanc became Dominica's first premier when the island was made a self-governing associated state in March 1967 by Britain. He has been associated with the many social, economic, and infrastructural changes that took place in Dominica in the 1960s. Leblanc resigned as premier in 1974 and passed away on October 29, 2004. Meanwhile, 5 ladies are currently competing against each other at the Iraq House of Culture for the title of Madame Wap Duet 2014. They are Silma Coffey of Portersville, Claudette McIntyre of Trafalgar, Gwyneth Lazar of Grand Fort, Jacqueline Alexander of Granby, and Seraphine Joseph of Kings Hill. The popular and highly entertaining event got underway from 8 p.m. The reigning Madame Wap Duet is Veronique Nicholas. There will be appearances by Miss Wap Duet Dominica, Merilja Benjamin, and Miss Zadshaya Dupuis, Miss Wap Duet USA, respectively. The show will also feature performances by Ophelia, Michael Henderson, Petit Savant Cultural Group, Waitu Kubuli Dance, Theatre Company, Sonia Lloyd, and Pebush Drummers. The show is presented by the Division of Culture and the National Cultural Council. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports is coming up next with Larry, so stay tuned.
Swimming? Yeah, I like swimming.
Dancing? Yeah, I love dancing. I love hanging out with my girls. I really miss them. My home.
And football too? I like football. I ain't too good, but I have some skills.
At the same time, I'm scared. What if they don't miss me or care about me?
Oh, yeah, and Papo. He's the first person I want to hug when I get out. But he don't come and see me. I guess he's ashamed.
I'm lost. What if?
For youth offenders, not knowing if we still love them is more than punishment. Give them hope. beyond bars.
The government of Dominica, in collaboration with the National Cultural Council, presents the 2014 Independence Celebrations under the theme, Our Nation, Our Responsibility. Be a part of the 36th anniversary celebrations, reconnect with the island's history, dress in the national wear, indulge in Dominica's wide array of Creole delicacies, and participate in the cultural activities across the country. Dominica is ours to celebrate. The 2014 Independence Celebrations, September 20 to November 4, 2014. Come, let's make it an independence to enjoy and remember.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. We begin tonight's coverage of cricket. St. Vincent's Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is advocating the assembling of a three-member CARICOM panel to help resolve the ongoing contract dispute between West Indies players, their union whipper, and the West Indies Cricket Board. In a letter to WICB President Dave Cameron last week, Gonsalves said the current crisis was too serious a matter to be resolved only by the board and suggested a wider engagement of CARICOM. Gonsalves proposed the panel be comprised of current CARICOM chairman, Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brong, Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, and former Jamaica Prime Minister P.J. Patterson. The experienced leader who played a key role in resolving the impasse between the WICB and Chris Gayle 2 years ago said whilst his proposal was not a new one, the urgency of now demands its embrace. According to Gonsalves' proposal, the CARICOM panel would not only focus on resolving the current impasse, but on several other key issues in West Indies cricket. These include the sustainable funding of West Indies cricket, the reform of the management of the WICB, and the tensions between the WICB and the Indian Cricket Board. And in more cricket, organizers are confident West Indies will participate in the 2015 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, despite the crisis of their withdrawal from the Tour of India earlier this month. West Indies, who won the first two World Cup tournaments in 1975 and 1979 and reached the quarterfinals in India in 2011, are always among the most popular teams at the 50-over showpiece. Caribbean cricket plunged into turmoil on October 17th after the series in India was aborted over a protracted payment dispute between the players and the West Indies Cricket Board WICB. India's powerful cricket board BCCI responded by suspending all future tours involving West Indies, as well as stating its intention to take legal action against the WICB, which could have a devastating financial impact on cricket in the region. West Indies are scheduled to open their campaign against Ireland in Nelson, New Zealand on February 16th and also play defending champions India, South Africa, Pakistan and Zimbabwe and the United Arab Emirates in Pool B. That's it for tonight's Sportscast.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. As part of Financial Information Month in October, 767 News, in collaboration with the local ECCB office, is offering a month of financial tips.
Money may not buy you love, but fighting about it will surely bankrupt your relationship. Before you venture into a marital relationship, fix your finances. Too many couples start off their married life with a large amount of debt. That's a lot of pressure on a new marital relationship.
And that's all the time we have for today. Drop us an email, friend us on Facebook, and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm Alicia George, wishing you a pleasant evening and thanks for watching.